सो आज का एपिसोड का टॉपिक बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग है. इट इज अबाउट गोइंग बियॉन्ड योर लिमिट्स. दैट इज हाउ टू अचीव इम्पॉसिबल थिंग्स इन योर लाइफ. एंड टू गाइड अस ऑन दिस टॉपिक देयर इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पर्सन. द गेस्ट ऑफ द टुडे शो इज मिस्टर आशीष कुमार, who is a very renowned professional. He has worked more than 25 years as a corporate person, and now he is helping people and training them on mindfulness. Welcome to the Manav show, sir.
Thank you, Manav. I'm truly grateful to you for inviting me for this, and also to my friend Dharmendra who connected us.
Right. Sir, so you have just written your new book, आपने जो लिखा है, that is named as Beyond Limits. So why Beyond Limits?
Yeah. So a lot of us, Manav, are limited by our own thoughts, and my life journey has been pushing how to do more, how to achieve more, how to break down our limiting beliefs and transform, because human potential is unlimited, but we get caught by our own thinking. So how to change our thinking and keep moving and progressing forward, how to have a growth mindset is where the title of the book and the stories also come from.
Okay. So as you said that people got confined, you said that you yourself got confined. So why is that us humans we make it ourselves only? मतलब हम ही होते हैं जो हम अपने आप को confined बनाते हैं. So why is this tendency, like why is it coming and where is it coming from?
Yeah. That's a very interesting question, Manav. There are many reasons for that. And one is the societal conditioning. So depending on what are the environments. So if I'm studying in a particular school and in those schools, the students come from a particular strata and this is how they succeed and this is the kind of jobs they get, everybody is conditioned to that, not realizing that they can beat that and, they can go ahead and even people who have not studied or dropouts from school have done so well in their life, right? It's a question of thinking. The second could be a event that has happened in my life. Like in my case, it was loss of my father, and it was a sudden death, and it was very difficult for me to deal with the grief that that followed, and then that trapped me down. So it could be conditioning, it could be some grief, some event that has happened in your life, divorce or death, or this is how people get limited by their thinking, not able to handle their emotions.
So one thing that you said about was log kya khayenge, societal pressure, and that's one of the most important thing that comes up कि लोग क्या सोचते हैं, and we start working according to them कि भाई तेरे से नहीं होगा, and हम वैसे करने लगते हैं. So to those people like who think about society and they change their direction, what would you like to tell them about it?
Yeah, that's an amazing question, Manav. Now, we all worship gods, right? But we look at them as somebody who is different from us. Why can't we have godlike qualities in us? If we follow Ram or Krishna or any other god that you may be following, why can't we imbibe their qualities and become like them? So the where I'm coming from is we think we are a victim, and then there is somebody who's going to come and rescue us. So we look at somebody outside us to help us, and that is how we have grown up. Either it is teachers who help you, or your parents who help you, or your bosses who help you, but we rarely think that I can be that person who can grow up and help others. So that is where leadership comes from. That's the change in mindset that I talk to my clients about.
Okay, so as you said that we think about the people, but the answers lies within us.
Correct.
मतलब कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है उसका सोल्यूशन हमारे पास ही होना है, and we have to overcome it.
Correct.
Okay. So in your book that you have written, the first story that you have talked about is never give up.
Yeah.
So when you talk about never give up, what are the key qualities that a person should have that makes him unshakable, and he has that never give up attitude in him?
So there are two ways this works, Manav. One is the survival instinct, right? We are all hardwired to survive. So whenever we are in a threatening situation, like Whispers was in this story, he falls into a pot of milk and is about to drown. So he's just, splashing around in the milk, swimming, and then he eventually comes out and becomes a winner. So that is one. Second is the purpose, the clarity of purpose that we have, and how we are driven by that clarity of purpose. So I find that both of these work together. Sometimes the survival pressure, sometimes being guided by a higher purpose to serve the humanity or to serve other people, which motivates us to never give up and continue doing what we are doing. It could also be passion, something you feel so strongly about that you want to work in that area.
Right. So could you explain the story that you have written in the book, The
Yeah.
Whisker Story? Because I have read it. I would like just if you could give a summary to our audience so that they can connect to our conversation that we
Sure,
have.
sure. I appreciate that. So this is the story about a Whiskers, who's a sweet little curious kitten, and he's playing with his friends, and then he, goes to a farmer's barn where the farmer's wife had kept a huge milk in a huge pot, and it's in the open. So they're curious, and so he jumps to the edge of the pot, and then as he's smelling and trying to smell, he falls into the pot, and then he realizes the pot is very big and he will drown. So he tries to swim, and then there are his other friends who are making fun of him, because people think he's stupid and he has fallen in the milk. He should not have gone there. Why be so adventurous? Why take risks? And so on and so forth. But the beauty is that Whiskers is partially deaf. So when his friends are making fun of him, he couldn't listen. He thinks that they're cheering him on, and he continues to swim in the milk, and he continues doing that. And as he does that, the milk slowly starts churning into cream, and then the cream turns into butter, and then he triumphantly walks out of the pot. So constant efforts, not listening to the negatives in the environment, staying focused on what you want to do, can help us get whatever we want in our life. So never ever give up. And this is a quality that is often associated with top achievers. There is a very interesting book called Grit by Duckworth, Angela Duckworth. People can look that up if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So as you said about they turned the cream into final outcome was cream.
Yes.
So in that there was a lot of resilience required to keep on doing it. So how important is resilience in a person's life, like while he's struggling during a struggling phase?
That is the stuff champions are made of, and getting up every time a person is defeated is what separates winners from losers. There is no harm in falling down, but there's harm in staying down. So as long as we can get up every time we have fallen down, we will be successful in our lives. And that is why I also have an acronym for FAIL, which is first attempt in learning. So it's not that failing is bad. It is, if you have not taken our learning from that experience, then it is bad. So you fail, you learn, and then you keep moving forward in life. That is what resilience to my mind is. That's what champion's mindset to my mind is.
To have a champion's mindset, people often forget that failure is the first stepping stone, and they are like कि fail हो गए तो लोग क्या बोलेंगे, and fail होने का डर से लोग क्या बोलेंगे उसका डर है. So it's like they don't come out of the comfort zone. So what advice would you give a person who is not able to come out of his comfort zone, that he takes this first step and he can come out of the comfort zone that he wants to?
One thing I would like to share, Manav, is that failing is not equal to failure. Okay, people look at failing as failure, but those are two very different things. We are not a failure till we are trying, until we are learning, until we are growing. And we look at failure and success separately, but we need to realize that failing is a part of being successful. So if we are comfortable staying trapped, comfort is a trap, and if we stay trapped in our comfort zone, then somebody will sooner or later come and shake you out of it. And, then it comes like a kick. And then we wonder why me, मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ. बट वो सबके साथ होता है. अगर आप एक ही चीज कर रहे हो और बहुत लंबे समय तक कर रहे हो, you're not thinking, you're not applying your mind, not growing, somebody will come and kick you. Either it's a competition or life or someone will come.
So, if a person wants to succeed, he should have motivation first. But in the process of succeeding or achieving his goal, the motivation keeps on going down because your goal seems getting blurred till you don't reach it, because you need 5 years, 10 years, or maybe 15 years to reach the goal. So, how to keep that motivation inside you, the fire inside you ignited all the time?
That's a very good question, Manav. And one of the ways it can be done is by breaking down goal into smaller pieces. Not looking, like my mother says, if you have to eat an elephant, you don't eat the whole thing in one go. You eat bit by bit. So make the goals into smaller. 10-year goals into 1 year goals, 1 year goals into 1 month goals, and then 1 week goals and daily goals. And track your progress against daily, weekly, monthly goals. And that way one can stay motivated and achieve. And there is a very beautiful thing you mentioned about 10-year goals. And, Bill Gates says that people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and they underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. So, we should have 10-year goals. And that really expands our perspective, and then we can systematically work towards doing that.
Right. So, your story about never give up is showing up consistently. How do you maintain focus?
Yeah.
Which results ki focus कितना important होता है, but people also lose their focus.
Yeah.
So, एक तो होता है कि motivation रखना और एक होता है कि goal के ऊपर focus रखना. You talked about motivation, but how to be focused in this society where Instagram, where the Facebook thing is so much up.
Yeah.
So for the youth who is not focused at all, so what advice would you like to give them?
Thank you. That's a big challenge that we have in our society today. We are so distracted. And this happens with the best of the people also, Manav. So, see, it's very natural for people to get distracted. What is important is realizing how long are we staying distracted. Okay. And the mindfulness practice or the focus or the attention is about reducing that time span. So somebody may, if we start just watching some reels, it may be an hour before we realize, 1 hour has passed. But you may just watch a reel and you can quickly come back to what you were doing. You take a 5-minute break, watch your reel and come back to doing what you were doing. So that's a practice. That's what mindfulness is about, holding our thoughts and attention to what we want, and it takes practice. There can be different ways, like you talked about the telephone being a distraction, Instagram, social media. So restricting the time, each phone, most of the phones have, can tell you how long have you spent on the phone. So tracking that, whether you're spending 3 hours, 4 hours, 1 hour, tracking that on a daily basis, reducing it or switching off your phone from some time. There are many techniques to get that focus, but to your point, it takes practice. Like we work out gym, muscles in the gym. So there are muscles of focus also, and we need to just practice and reduce that gap from the time we got distracted to time we get back to what we were doing earlier.
So, a never give up attitude, if anybody wants to acquire in their life, should they take sports people as their idol, because they are the people who never give up. They have to maintain a regime. They have to maintain a diet. They have to wake up 6 a.m. in the morning. They have to eat proper quantity of food. So these are the idols that we should look up at when it comes to discipline, when it comes to focus, when it comes to motivation.
Yeah, sports is a great way. Very identifiable, and they're talked about a lot. They are in media and they are healthy, they're happy, and they're working long-term goals. So I think yes, sports people are a good example to follow.
Okay, so any idol that you have in your life who motivated you all your life till now?
So there are a couple of people. I'm inspired by Warren Buffett a lot. I'm inspired by Andre Agassi, tennis champion. These are the people who inspire me a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So now coming to your second story, we will discuss one more story from your book, and then others can just go and read your book. That will be a better way. The second story is about 99 coins. Can you tell about that story and elaborate about it?
Surely, Manav. That's one of my favorite ones. And so this is a story about a very poor farmer who's working in his field. And he doesn't even have a shirt on his back, but he's happy, he's singing and working on his field. And there's a king who passes by. And king has got all the wealth, right? He's got all the riches, but he's not happy. He's got this constant anxiety, what will happen and things like that. And he looks at this simple farmer working, toiling in his fields, but very happy. And after this day's tour, he returns to the palace, and then he calls his trusted minister. This is what I saw. How can this poor farmer who doesn't even have his shirt on his back be so happy? And the minister was very wise. So he says, King, he is not part of the 99 gold coins club. And King is puzzled. He says, what is 99 gold coins club? And minister says, you please get the treasury to issue me 99 gold coins, and I'll show you what it is. So he gets the coins, 99 gold coins issued, and they go and they early in the morning, before the dawn, they go and put 99 gold coin bag containing 99 gold coins in front of the farmer's door. So he gets up in the morning and it's little dark, so he steps out and his feet touches the bag which is there. And he wonders, what is it? And then he takes the coins inside, the bag inside, and then sees there are gold coins in it. And he starts counting 1, 2, 90, 95, 98, 99. And he says, it can't be 99. Then he wakes up his wife and he says, why don't you count these coins? The wife also counts 99 gold coins. And then, by that time, his happiness of finding 99 gold coins is turning into frustration and anger. And he is, saying that, why, if somebody has played a cruel joke on me, if somebody had to give, why not give 100 gold coins? Why not give 19? Why give 99 gold coins? And then he tells his wife, now I'm going to work very, very hard and I'm going to earn enough money to buy one more gold coin and make that as 100. And so, from that day, he starts working very hard. He starts becoming irritable and so on and so forth. And I was still not able to save enough money. And then, one day he comes back and he counts. And then he sees that this is 98 gold coins. Then he asks his wife, what happened? He says, anyway, you're not earning enough. And I thought I'll go and do some shopping with this. So I bought some sarees and stuff like that. So he gets very wild and he had a very big fight with her wife. So the point is to, that we are always chasing that one thing which we don't have in life. And we miss to enjoy the 98 or 99 gold coins that we have. And this is the story, Manav. And the way it plays out in our lives is that we are always focused on the lack that is there in our life. And, we're not, whether it is in relationships or anything else, a person may be have 99 good qualities, but that one thing which he or she doesn't have, we are so focused on that. And, we spoil our relationships because of that, or in job, or think in terms of parents, the kid scores 99 marks, the parents will say, they will not say कि 99 क्यों लाए, वो बोलते हैं एक क्यों कट गया तुम्हारा. तो इस तरह से हम अपनी जिंदगी को जहन्नुम बना लेते हैं. But the point is, as long as we are focused on things that we have, we get more of that in our life. So that was a key learning for me, and that completely changed my state of being. And rather than be driven by lack of things, I started developing a sense of content with what I have and still aspire for more. So that was a very big change. Wanting more from a space of lack and wanting more from a space of being contented. So that was a very big shift that took place.
So this story till the thing that I understood, it's about comparison. We have 99 things, but one thing that another person has, we always compare. कि भाई उसके पास ये अच्छा, भाई उसके पास ये अच्छा, मेरे को भी ये चीज चाहिए. पर जो अपने घर में है या जो अपने पॉकेट में है, लोग उसको कभी नहीं देखते. And that's one of the worst things I think it is to do that. It's like कि जो अपने resources है ना, उनको powerful करो, उनको इतना strong करो, because अगर ये resource हमारे पास है, उसके पास वो resources नहीं है. So ये resource को अपना power बना दो, ताकि उसके resources overshadow हो जाए.
Absolutely.
Okay. So in this thing, when you have so much with you, when you have resources, we are comparing. So how we should stop comparing? Because India में रहते हैं, neighbors को compare करना, families में compare करना, parents compare करते हैं, and this is one of the biggest thing, and it affects the child's mindset also. So how should we stop it, and how we should give an advice to the parents who are listening or to the audience. You should stop comparing.
Yeah. So let's also understand this root of this, where the comparison comes from, Manav. And so human beings have been around for 6 million years on planet Earth. And of those 6 million years, only about 10,000 years have we started settling down in villages and cities. So for 5.9 million years, we were living in jungles. And that's where the strength, my being stronger than the other person matters, because if a lion is chasing us, I need to be faster, or I need to be stronger to fight the gorilla or whoever has come. But today, that survival threat is not there. We're not living in jungles anymore, but our mind is still hardwired like that. So we want always better, bigger car, bigger house, better education, this and that, which may not necessarily add to your quality of life. If it does, then for all means one should go for it. But one should be aware that whether it is adding to the quality of life or not, and then because there will always be somebody better than you. If you look at the Forbes list of 500 richest billionaires, even if you are a billionaire, but there'll be somebody who's like 499 ahead of you, or if you're in the top 10, there are 9 ahead of you, something like that. So it'll completely suck out the juice from the life if you're constantly comparing ourselves. If you have BMW 3 Series, somebody will have 5, somebody will have 7. So you will not enjoy the 3 that you have. So many people don't even have that 3. So one needs to understand where is the root coming from and whether it is serving your purpose or not. So what I find is better is living your life by goals. So if I'm getting better than myself, compare myself, the skills that I have, or the money I have, or the house I have, or the education that I have, am I getting better at what I am doing? Or comparing myself to the goals that I have set for. That I find very effective in leading a contented, happy life and still keep growing.
तो जैसे आपने बोला कि लोगों को ग्रेड होती है कि X3 है, X4 चाहिए, X7 चाहिए, सो पीपल शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि कब रुकना है, कि हम इसमें भी खुश है. So it's like I've listened to an example कि there are 2 people, okay? One is traveling in, supposing for example in Tata, one is traveling in BMW, going to the same destination, that is Bombay. But the person going in Tata is happier than the person going in BMW because he is enjoying the journey. Yeah. So the important part is to enjoy the journey rather than in what you are going or what you have.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So sir, in this, what gratitude plays a role in this. Yeah. How should we be humble to whatever we have? We should be humble in that. Yeah. So how should we get these qualities in us?
Yeah, it's a conscious choice of, again, it involves reframing of a mind, Manav, looking at what is positive, and there's a very nice story in the book which is about Mullah Nasruddin. And this is, there is a guy, very rich guy, who comes running to Mullah Nasruddin and he says, Mullah ji, आपकी तो भगवान से बात होती है, आप भगवान को बोलिए मेरे पास बहुत कुछ है and मुझे और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. अब अभी मुश्किल हो रहा है, इतना मैनेज कर रहा है, इतना नौकर, इतना सब कुछ वेल्थ, इतना सब बहुत मुश्किल हो गया अभी. तो मुल्ला जी बोलते हैं ठीक है, तो मैं भगवान से बात करूं, तुम 1 हफ्ते बाद आना. एंड देन मुल्ला जी ऐसे ही गांव में वॉक कर रहे होते हैं तो फिर उनको एक भिखारी दिखता है और वो भिखारी बोलता है कि मेरे पास देखो मुल्ला जी, कुछ भी नहीं है, खाने को भी नहीं है, कपड़े भी नहीं है बदन में, आप की मुल्ला जब भगवान से बात होती है आप उनसे पूछ के बताओ कि मेरा क्या करना चाहिए मेरे को. तो मुल्ला जी बोलते ठीक है, तुम 1 हफ्ते बाद आना. तो 1 हफ्ते बाद ऐसे ही मुल्ला जी गाँव में घूम रहे होते हैं तो वो रिच आदमी भागता भागता आता है, मुल्ला जी आपकी बात हुई भगवान से? तो बोले कि हाँ. तो बोले क्या बोले? भगवान बोले कि शुक्र देना बंद कर दो. तो ओके, तो शुक्र देना बंद कर दोगे तो तुम्हारा ये सब जो इतना सारा है तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा. तो वो बोला नहीं, वो तो नहीं हो सकता. एंड देन ही गोज अवे एंड देन ही कम्स टू द बेगर एंड ही सेज, मुल्ला जी, बेगर आस्क हिम, मुल्ला जी आपकी बात हुई भगवान से? तो वो बोलते हैं कि हाँ. तो वो बोले क्या बोला भगवान ने? भगवान ने बोला कि, तो मुल्ला जी बोलते हैं भगवान ने बोला तुम शुक्र देना शुरू कर दो. बोला किस बात का शुक्र करूं, मेरे पास तो खाना भी नहीं है, कपड़े भी नहीं है. तभी एक तेज हवा आती है और जो उसके बदन में कपड़े थे वो भी उड़ा के ले जाती है. So it is, realizing stories like this, which are helpful in cultivating a sense of gratitude. listening to 99 Gold Coin story or the Mullah Nasruddin story, they help us understand that the gratitude has got immense power. And there is a very powerful book, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, which I will recommend the listeners to your podcast to read. It's a mind-blowing book, and it's very simple. The one reason I like the practice of gratitude so much is because it's very time effective. For busy people today, it offers very high return on time invested. So even if you do for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it'll help you get very good satisfaction, progress in life. And it's completely portable. So you don't need to be anywhere. Wherever you are, whether you're driving on the way, you can do it.
Because giving gratitude is very important, because I myself have experienced this कि जितना ज्यादा gratitude दोगे ना उतना ज्यादा आपको मिलेगा. It's like if you want to earn money, you have to donate money. Because in this universe, the most powerful thing is manifestation. So whatever you manifest, you're going to get back to it. So अगर आपको चाहिए कि लोग आपको आगे थैंक यू बोले, आपको अप्रिशिएट करे, सो आपको भी इन रिटर्न वो करना पड़ेगा. इट्स लाइक कर्मा. So we are watching our podcast is because of my editor that we are able to do this. So it's all give and take.
Correct, absolutely.
Right. So, sir, there are many interesting stories in your book. Could you give one more, your favorite story from your book that will inspire and will also give a very good moral to our podcast?
Thank you for asking that, Manav. And this is the story titled Giver's Gain, which is also about giving, which is what you are talking about. And it's about Buddha. And, so Buddhist monks, they go and beg for food, and then whatever they get, they eat. And they have one bowl only. तो उसमें अलग ऐसे दाल खिचड़ी नहीं है, एक ही बोल में जो भी खाना होता है सब मिक्स हो जाता है. So at the end of the day or whenever they want to eat, they eat. So Buddha is walking in a village along with his disciple with his bowl and begging for food. And then he comes to the house, one house, where the lady of the house didn't have anything to offer that day. And she's ashamed that Buddha has come and I don't have anything to offer. So she sends her young daughter out and says कि जाके बोलो आज भगवान हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है देने के लिए. And the door was open and Buddha could see what is going to happen. So even before the girl runs out happily. She's a kid. She runs out happily and she's about to say, we don't have anything to offer. And Buddha stops her midway and says कि वो जो मिट्टी पड़ी है जमीन पे वो उठा के तुम मेरे को दे दो. So girl doesn't realize, she happily picks up the mud and she puts it in the bowl. And Buddha being Buddha, he calmly walks away from there. थोड़ी दूर जाने के बाद बुद्धा तो शांत है, उनका डिसाइपल एकदम गर्म हो गया. बोला बुद्धा ये क्या किया आपने, हमारे पास आज वैसे ही खाने को कम था, जो है उसके ऊपर भी आपने मिट्टी डलवा दिया. नाउ वी हैव टू गो हंग्री फॉर अ डे. तो बुद्धा ने जो बोला उससे मेरा जिंदगी बदल गई. What Buddha said was, Manav, we will have to go hungry for a day, but the lesson that girl has learned will help her a lifetime. And the lesson is that you always have something to offer. And when I heard this story, it was a particularly difficult time in my life that I was going through. I had just started my business, coaching and consulting business, and my bank accounts ran dry and my checks started to bounce. And I wondered to myself कि मेरे पास है क्या देने के लिए, ये हालत में तो मेरे पास कुछ भी नहीं है देने के लिए. But then I thought a little bit, and then I started offering smiles to people I would meet. And then I started keeping out water for the birds. We used to live in Gurgaon that time. It's very hot. And then, when I started going for my meetings with prospects, with clients, rather than ask for business, I used to ask them what is the problem, and I started offering them solutions. How mindfulness can help you deal with the challenge that you're facing at the workplace, and from being a taker, I became a giver, starting offering. And that had a profound impact on my business. And I'm very happy to share that last year I paid the highest ever income tax in my life. So from being zero bank balance in 2020 to highest income tax paying the highest income tax in my life. That's been the journey which has happened by giving, offering solutions. There's a lot of pro bono work we do in mindful living, doing that pro bono work, offering gratitude, all of this combination.
That's a big thing. Paying the highest income tax is one of the most, मतलब इतना बड़ा चीज है कि मतलब आई एम इमेजिनिंग हाउ मच वुड बी योर नेट वर्थ राइट नाउ that you have paid so much of income tax. But that's good to know, sir. Sir, like I'm feeling I'm so privileged that I'm sitting here with you, getting to learn so many new things. Sir, one more story, please.
कौन सी सुनना चाहेंगे?
कोई भी sir.
Okay. So there's another one all these stories are beautiful.
Right.
There's one more which impacted a lot. It's about a prince and an ugly witch. तो एक गांव में एक लड़की रहती है जिसको कर्स था कि वो 12 घंटे तो बहुत सुंदर दिखेगी और 12 घंटे सबसे अगली विच बन जाएगी. So there is a prince who was passing the village and he sees this girl when she was looking beautiful, and then he falls in love, and then he starts talking to her and they start liking each other, and and then the prince proposes marriage to this girl, and the girl was kind of anticipating that this will happen, and then she's feeling nervous and excited क्योंकि मैं अब सच्चाई बता दूंगी प्रिंस को तो ये तो नहीं करेगा शादी. कौन एक ugly looking witch से शादी करेगा? So she tells the prince, डरते डरते बताती है कि मैं अभी तो 12 घंटे में बहुत अच्छी दिख रही हूँ, बट 12 घंटे I am the ugliest looking person. And she says that आप किस 12 घंटे मुझे अच्छा देखना चाहोगे during the day, so that you can show to the world that you have such a beautiful queen, or at night, when we are together and it's our personal time, we have, which 12 hours will you like me to look beautiful? And the answer Prince gave was so mind-blowing. Let me ask you, what would have been your answer?
My answer would be maybe during the time when everybody is going to see.
Everybody, yeah, right? So that is what normally people would think. But what Prince said completely blew my mind. He says, you choose. Okay. तो उसने उसको choice दिया, which means he accepted her as she is. And that moment, the curse was broken. And she became beautiful for 24 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is the challenge we have in our lives, Manav. We refuse to accept people as they are, including our own selves. If we can accept ourselves as we are, if we can accept our parents as they are, our spouse as she is, or husband as he is, children as they are, then they will be their most beautiful self. But हम इतने judgmental हो जाते हैं ना, मेरा बच्चा बेकार है, मेरी बीवी बेकार है, मेरा sibling बेकार है. We create poison in our own lives. So accepting people as they are, I think, is one of the most phenomenal. It sounds very simple, very difficult to do, but profound impact.
Right.
That's another story.
So it's a very good heart-touching story जहाँ पे आप बोल रहे हो कि ugliness doesn't matter, जैसे प्रिंस ने बताया, looks don't matter. The thing that matters is your heart.
Correct.
The way you connect with people, the way you talk with people, the way you treat people.
Yes.
That's one of the most important things. And if you are happy with your partner and your partner is happy with you, then फिर लोग कुछ भी बोले उससे क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है. It depends upon you.
Correct.
सर बहुत कुछ सीखने मिल रहा है. एक लास्ट चीज मेरे को चाहिए. To have a champion mindset, what should be the 3 things that a person should have?
So that's a very interesting question, Manav. And one of the things is what you mentioned earlier, the resilience. Okay. Ability to get up every time you fall down, to stay, have clarity of purpose. A lot of people want something. So resilience is one. Having clarity of purpose is the other one. Why do I want what I want? So somebody will say, I want to earn 1 crore rupees, 2 crore rupees, but they have no idea why they want to win. Why do I want to become a world champion? The answering that why is very important. And that gives you the persistence, that gives you the grit, and that gives you so many. That also helps you be resilient because you're clear why you are doing what you are doing, and gives you a lot of energy. So clarity of purpose and resilience, these two I would rank very high. And realizing that we are the creator of our life, aham brahmasmi. Taking power into your own hands, not letting it out. And there are so many success stories of people who have achieved so much in their lives, unthinkable things in their life. And one such example is Oprah Winfrey. She was born on a farm in a rural America, and she was abused as a child. She was born to a single unwed mother, abused as a child, and from there she has grown to be worth more than $3 billion and helping so many people. It's not only the net worth, but the impact she has had on the lives of many people through her show, Oprah Winfrey Show, which has motivated and inspired so many people. So irrespective of which background you come from, you can create your life the way you want to. So having a vision, being resilient, recognizing your power, this is all this stuff that makes a champion.
Right. So, sir, I would just like to add into this that you are the king of your own life.
Brilliant.
So, if we take a chess game, sir, in chess game you don't lose until the king is gone. Rani chali gayi to gaya, koi tension nahi hai. The horse goes, it's not a problem. The pawns goes, it's not a problem. Till the king doesn't go, you're not out of the game. So you are the king of your life. If you are gone, the game is over. So it's up to you how strong you want to be. जितना ज़्यादा strong आप खुद को रखोगे in अलग situations, भगवान उतने ज़्यादा difficult situations आपको देगा ताकि आप उनको face कर सको, because there is something very precious waiting for you after that situation. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Manav.
It was very interesting to talk to you, and we got to learn new things. I would urge all of my listeners to read your books. We talked about 3 to 4 stories, and it had a very good moral at the end. And I would like everyone to read other stories that are in your book that will inspire them and will give them new learnings. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Manav. Truly wonderful being here with you.